awesome. Oh, it gives me the shakes, baby. It gives me the shakes. I get so excited. Today, we're going to talk about how we preserve a little piece. Whew, I got the shakes, folks. Oh, my goodness. A little piece of American history. But before we do, you see the merch. Come on. It only takes you to email me to tell me you want a ball cap. Hey, can you see it? Can you see the logo on the shirt as well? That's right. M1 Garand, preserving a piece of history and ordering your merch. Coming up next. Range fans, let's talk about. We're going to see if we can keep this one quick, maybe end up a little long. You know how excited I was at the beginning of the video about the old workhorse, M1 Garand. That's how he pronounced his last name. But some, at least in the U.S. military, called it the M1 Garand. We're going to talk about preserving a little piece of history today. And if you are researching the M1 Garand, you probably already know about the CMP. But let me tell you about a little secret I got. I guess I might as well spread it across the world for those that visit this small channel. Anyways, Palmer Firearms LLC, look them boys up on Facebook. Palmer Firearms LLC. This is where this one came from. Beautiful M1 Garand with Quaker barrel on it, by the way, and has also been bedded and made by Springfield Armory. Those boys over there, you walk into the shop, it's like going back a blast in time. They are very knowledgeable. Well, call up Andrew. He's very knowledgeable. That other guy, not so sure about him, and he knows who I'm talking about. He knows I'm just kidding too, by the way. He always gives me a big boatload of trash every time I walk in there. That's how friendly the environment is. Give Palmer LLC, Palmer Firearms LLC, a call if you're looking for historic, something they specialize in. And also, they have modern also, very knowledgeable in both. Now about this old M1 Garand, now I think, or I consider, there's two periodic versions of it. I say two periodic versions because you have those made during World War II and those made after or post World War II. Those made in World War II were made by Springfield Armory and also Winchester. Post World War II, you had Springfield Armory, International Harvester, Richardson and Harrison. No, that's Harrington and Richardson. Oh my gosh, I'm starting out with a train wreck already. But if you want history on the M1 Garand, what made me break this thing out was seeing my buddy Ray over at the X-Ring. He broke his out and said, it's his famous rifle. Now, you got to watch his all the way through to the end, like I hope you watch this one, because he's got a little something special at the end that you are absolutely going to want to see, a blast of fun. But he tells you all about the operations of the M1 Garand. He shows you a little bit about taking it down and what have you. So go over there if that's what you want to see. Here, I'm here to tell you how to preserve some of what he talked about. What can I do off safe on the target? Oh, there's that ping. Yeah. Reliability is something else. Let me go take a look at this target. Oh, y'all tell me, will that old girl shoot? 150 grain CMP ammunition. It's only at 50 yards. Maybe we'll ring it out to 100 yards if we don't run out of daylight today. Let's get back to talking about that old M1. Oh, I think that thing will shoot. It is only 50 yards, folks, but we didn't come here to talk about accuracy shooting. For M1 Garand, I think they expected it to be 2 to 4 MOA. at 100 yards, good enough for what it was intended for. But anyways, preserving a great piece of American history. Now, even though I got this from Palmer Firearms, LLC, which I know they go through them, they make sure everything's taken care of, even CMP makes sure. For peace of mind, this is a great piece of American history. What did General Patton say? I think he said something to the effect, this is the greatest battle implement ever devised. As a matter of fact, for you history buffs, he actually didn't say it. He wrote it in a letter to Congress. That's right, he wrote it in a letter to Congress. But anyways, even though CMP, Palmer Firearms, those guys take care of them. Really, really nice. I like to have a peace of mind. So for me, I go through it. I take it apart. There's only 2 springs in this thing. There's the recoil spring, okay? Really easy to take apart and replace. You can get those springs. Andrew can order them for you from Palmer Firearms, or you can go to Garand Gear and order them as well. And then you have the trigger spring. The trigger spring, really easy to come out. Be careful, it will fly across the room on you. A little tough to put back in, but everything's possible without tooling. Everything is possible without tooling to do at home. And while I am in there, again, I am looking through it to make sure there's no rust. I take my bore scope, run it through the board to make sure there's no rust, no pitting, or anything of that nature from corrosive ammo, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But this thing is just absolutely pristine, and I appreciate Andrew and Palmer Firearms for letting me take this old relic out to the range. And one thing you want to make sure of, don't get Garand thumb. That's how you load them, folks. Let's see what we can do. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, and before I put these rounds through it, you saw how I loaded it. While I'm in there replacing the springs, I do grease it. Yes, the mil spec calls for grease. There is an appropriate grease as well. And what you want to look for, those tight-fitting metal parts, anything that's metal to metal, take your little Q-tip and grease those pieces. Now, I don't use the military grease. You can get it online or get it from Palmer's. I personally use Valvoline grease. That's right. You see a little bit of it here, and that's what you see on the bottom of the barrel where the OpRod rubs and the spring rubs. Also on the OpRod here in the little channel. Anything that touches metal to metal, I dip my Q-tip in the Valvoline grease and just grease it up. You don't have to cake it on there per se. Let's see. Got some reloads in this thing. 4 ammo, which we'll talk about here in a minute. 4 ammo. If you are a reloader, IMR 4895. Yeah, there's plenty of other powders in that same burn range, but IMR 4895 is it. That's what you want to use. That's what I use. Somewhere between 47 and 49 grains, depending upon your distance. Let's see how 168 grain IMR 4895 shoots in this old girl. You can never get tired of that. By the way, that's another myth, but we ain't gonna talk about it in this video. Ping and waiting for the enemy to come charging you after. Oh, all myth, that's BS. Listen, what I'm spitting to you today is the facts on how to preserve this great piece of American history. Hoo-wee! Take a look at that, Palmer. Ooh, y'all let this one get away. Andrew, you should have kept this one for yourself. That dog will hunt. Oh yeah, it'll get it done. We're going to have to stretch this thing out to 100 yards and beyond. Oh yeah, stay tuned. All right, this is the last thing. Again, this is just the pure facts. If you want to take care of your M1 Garand or Garand, however you wish to pronounce it, this is the last thing. You got to have the right ammo. The right ammo, folks. You see this ammo up here? You have ammo from CMP. I even have some American Eagle, but it is branded M1 Garand. I even have some PPU, but it is branded M1 Garand. Look for a box with M1 Garand. Anyone that has M1 Garand on the box, the manufacturers say guaranteed to work in an M1 Garand. Here's the deal. The CMP, I know there's many. I saw a video this morning where a gentleman was talking about, the myth of ammo in an M1 Garand. I put hunting ammo in my M1 Garand. I am telling you folks, let's preserve this great piece of history. You shouldn't do that. I'm just gonna state the fact. You shouldn't. Is it safe? Maybe you get away with it. Maybe there's one time you don't, but you really shouldn't. It wasn't designed for that. CMP just recently posted an article and published something saying 30-06 ammo for M1 Garand really shouldn't be loaded over 50,000 PSI. Keep in mind, there are no more additional parts being made for this thing. You can get some aftermarket parts for it, but essentially, you're trying to preserve it. You want to take it out on a day like today, have some fun, but you're trying to preserve it. You put that hunting ammo in there, you're going to bend that OpRod. Even with the correct ammo, and let's not forget the spam can, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. I choose to put a gas tube plug in mine from Garand Gear. There's also gas plugs made by Schuster that are adjustable, and you can adjust the Schuster to work with that ammunition. I just prefer to swap them out with the Garand Gear plug, ported plug, and go at it because I'm still using the right ammo. What that plug does is expand upon the gas tube in the system, therefore reducing the initial impulse of the reloading of the M1 Garand. This OpRod gets moving too fast, folks. You're gonna bend it. Using that hunting ammo, you're gonna bend it. Now, I will give the gentleman some credit. He said, look, what he believed was you can use hunting ammo as long as it was not above 178 grain pill, because the M1 Garand, as we all know, was loaded for 150 grain Freedom pill back in those times. I still don't want to take the chance, even though I've added the additional safety of making sure it's lubed right away. That's one. Changing out the springs for new springs. That's two. Changing out to a ported gas plug. That is three. Making sure you have cleaned and lubed it. Now, last but not least, on this ammunition, there's one last thing. Even with this spam can ammunition, there are lots out there that are not good to fire. I got a hold of some Greek ammunition that you see here in the B-roll that is not good. Anything dated prior to 1951 is corrosive ammo. That's why I take them apart at the very beginning, looking for rust or pitted barrels or anything of that nature. It is corrosive ammo. It is absolutely going to spoil things if you're going to clean it. I don't want to get into how you clean it. Some say, listen, just take it apart, pour water down it, you're good to go, and put it back together, grease it up, you're good to go. I prefer not. Have I fired some corrosive ammunition? I absolutely have. The way I choose to do it is, yep, you may frown upon it, but 3 swabs or patches through the bore with home-based ammonia. Home-based ammonia down the bore. I let it sit no longer than 90 seconds. And then with ballistol, 10 patches. Brand new patch each time, a brand new patch, fresh ballistol through it. And I elect to take the bolt apart, not just cleaning the face of the bolt, but cleaning the internals of the bolt with ballistol as well, put it all back together. I've never had a problem with that routine, but I'm no longer firing corrosive ammo and won't touch it anymore. Also, go over to dayattherange.com, folks. I know this segment is a little bit long-winded, but it's important. And to me, it is the most important to protect this thing, protect yourself, keep yourself safe. Over at dayattherange.com, I have published some ammunition that came out of Spam Can, Greek ammunition that was supposed to be really, really good from 1975. But there were problems with weak brass exploding in these M1 Garands, luckily not hurting anyone. I've posted those lots over to dayattherange.com, and as a matter of fact, I have a box of it here, and only for show and tell today. Only for show and tell that is going to get taken apart. The only thing that'll be used is the pill. I had 20 boxes of this stuff that I had to take apart, only using the pill, the Freedom Pill. So there you have it. That's how you preserve an M1 Garand, the greatest battle implement ever. Yeah, I know there's more modern, but I don't think there is anything more fun. Oh, folks, I know you're eyeballing me. I know you're eyeballing me. You see this beautiful logo on this gray and black shirt, nice collar, gray and black cap. Come on. Come on, support the channel. Email MrRevolverGuy@dayattherange.com and I'll tell you how to get one. Ooh, let's load this thing up. Oh, what can we do? 150 grain. American Eagle. Don't shoot that camera, boy. Woo! Get some. Palmer Firearms LLC. Visit them on Facebook and get your piece of American history. Oh man, I'm going home.